Hello. So today we're going to be talking about my personal best in beauty of 2019. These are products I reached for over and over again. It doesn't necessarily mean they launched in 2019. It just means that I loved them in 2019. So before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed before you leave, and you can give this video a thumbs up. It helps me out. And then follow me on my makeup related Instagram. All that stuff is always down below. Let's dive right in. Before we start, actually, I just want to address the elephant in the room. I'm wearing contacts. If you've been watching my videos for the past almost year, I've been wearing glasses in pretty much all my videos. That's because I have very sensitive, dry eyes. So I was kind of on like a no, I'm not allowed to wear contacts kick. So recently I decided to break that and I ordered some contacts, and these are trials, so here we go. I don't know if you even cared about that, but just in case you're wondering, that's what's going on. This video might be a little bit long because I have a ton of stuff. And it's not all just like makeup. There's some, there's a perfume, there's a setting spray, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't all necessarily have to be makeup, but most of it is. I don't think there's any skincare in here yet, so if you want me to do just like a specific skincare video, I can definitely do that. If you want me to do the worst of 2019, I can try and do that, but typically I don't keep products that I don't really like, so we'll see. Let's just start with eyeshadow palettes because that is the most exciting thing. I think 2019 for me was definitely the year of the eyeshadows. Eyeshadow palettes, me purchasing them, me playing with them, you know, that kind of thing. I think 2018 was really for foundations for me, so 2019 was definitely eyeshadow palettes. So the first one, I really used a lot, this Milani Pure Passion palette. It's 20 bucks at the drugstore. It's just like, Lola is like, I'll insert a video of what is like happening right now. So I'm filming, hello, and this is Lol, just like in her little Christmas bed on my filming desk. So like this is jam-packed with stuff and she's just being the worst. What are you doing? So yeah, I really liked this palette. It's so easy to use and great for every day. I really obviously like this color right here because you can see that dent in it. Very good travel palette. Highly recommend checking this out. These two Natasha De Nona, so I don't know if I got these in 2019, but I definitely loved them in 2019. This, again, is just like a warm palette, warm neutrals. There's a couple cool tone grays in it, but other than that, it's just a great everyday palette. I can dip in here and know that I'm getting like a look that I like, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's not true for all palettes. I'll kind of get into that in a second. But yeah, I really liked all the colors in here. It's a great color story. It's sturdy packaging. It's so expensive, but it was a present, so love this. And then the other one is the Sunset. Oh, sorry. This is the Biba palette. This is the Sunrise palette. And this is kind of more colorful and a little bit out of my comfort zone, but there's still some very wearable shades. I really enjoyed playing with this palette this year because it was out of my comfort zone and I really don't have anything else like it in my collection. Okay, I have to give an honorable mention to Tarte Beauty because, you know, I've been following her for a while. She created a gorgeous palette. So far, I really like it. I really haven't had it long enough to be like, I love this, but I wanted to just mention it because when there is a restock, I definitely recommend picking it up because it is going to be, honestly, if you're a makeup artist, I think that this would be a great palette because it has like these staple colors. You can have a black as a liner. It has glitter for fun, shimmers. It's just like a really nice overall palette. I haven't tried every shade in here, so I can't really say like it's a 100%. I love it so much, but it's definitely one of the best releases of 2019. And congrats to Tarte because it's just, that's awesome. You know what I mean? I'm going to mention these Huda Beauty Obsessions palettes. So I have the Mauve Obsession, the Smoky Obsession, and the Amethyst Obsessions. I believe these two I got in 2019 through Ipsy, and then this one actually was a present last Christmas. But I love these little palettes. They are so good. They're just like perfect travel size. There's so many options. If you have like a couple of these, you have all the colors that you need. You know what I mean? This one especially came in handy this year. I created such a pretty look that I really, really loved. I even did a video on recreating that Instagram tutorial, so I'll link that for you in the card. But I really enjoyed playing with those palettes this year. Highly recommend if they're ever on sale, you pick them up. Next is a drugstore option. This is the Magnified Spice Edition by Rimmel. And this palette is so, I feel like it's underrated. I feel like no one talks about it. Maybe it's not made anymore, but it's so good. If you can pick this up, I highly recommend. It's kind of like the Naked Heat. I would call it like a Naked Heat dupe. So if you don't want to buy that, definitely recommend this. Pat McGrath, I fell in love with this palette. I honestly asked for this palette as a present for this red shade, and then this pink shade, oh my god, it's so pretty. It is, I did a whole tutorial using this shade for wedding guest makeup because it's just like so reflective. All of the shimmers in dim lighting look so good. It's like the sturdiest packaging ever. It's also super expensive. But I highly recommend checking out her formula, at least for the shimmers. The mattes are good, but they're not like why I bought the palette. You know what I mean? I have good mattes in other palettes, but the shimmers, oh, they're unlike anything else I have. So highly recommend checking her formula out. And then I think this is the last like eyeshadow mention, but this is my, it's a magnetic palette full of Sydney Grace shadows. I discovered Sydney Grace this year, and I really, really enjoy her formula, or their formula. I think it's sisters who own it. But it's so pretty. They have such a wide range of colors. They blend out great. The shimmers are amazing. I just can't say enough good things, and it's affordable, and they have sales all the time. So definitely follow them on Instagram. I did a whole video of their stuff too, so I'll put that in the card for you as well. All right, I have two face palettes. The first one is this Pixie and Rach Loves collaboration. I haven't had this for super long, but I love this. This is the Layers Highlighting Palette. My favorite colors are these three right here. Obviously, it's the more wearable shades. But I love Clutch. It's so good. Ooh, it's so good. It's the one I've been using the most. They're just super buttery and just like blinding and buildable and just so good. Highly recommend this palette. I really don't use the other two shades. I just like it for those three shades. So very, very good. The next palette that I used a ton this year is this Cover FX face palette. This is the Perfector face palette in light medium. Oh my god. I don't know if you can tell, but this bronzer, like I completely wore down the pattern on it. It's so good. It was actually a contour, but I use it as a bronzer. Every pattern here I like for specific reasons. I mean, this brightener shade is such a pretty highlighter. The highlighter shades are also very pretty. I mean, everything is so good. The finishing powder I don't really use that much because there's shimmer in it, but it's like if I want like kind of like an hourglass ambient lighting highlighter, I'll use the finishing powder for that. The blush is super pigmented. This is just a great travel palette. Highly recommend. Get it for someone you love. All right, moving on. I'm just going to kind of pick stuff out of here randomly because I don't have an order. So I'm going to mention this Sunday Riley CEO Glow Turmeric, and it's called the Vitamin C and Turmeric Oil. This is so good. I use it sparingly. I love this so much. I don't know what it is about it, but I just like, I fell in love with it. I keep using it. It's so good. Definitely don't recommend using this like under makeup, but it's my nighttime oil and I really like it. I feel like my skin's hydrated. I feel like it's plump. I feel like it helps with scarring. I don't know that that's true, but I feel like it does. So yeah, definitely recommend that. Another, oh, I just poked myself in the eye. Another skincare product is, of course, the Rose Ceramide Cream. This is my third tube of this. This is by Pixie. Originally, they sent it to me in PR, and I've loved it that I've bought it 2 more times. It's so good. If you buy one recommendation from me, please let it be this because I love this so much, and I want you to love it too. It's 24 bucks, so it is a little bit pricey, and you only get 1.7 fluid ounces, so I know it's a little steep, but you buy it at Target, use your red card to get 5% off. I'm sure that you could find it on sale at some point. It's so good. Highly, highly recommend. Another thing from Pixi that they sent me is the makeup fixing mist. I really, really enjoyed this. It has rose water and green tea. It's super hydrating. I feel like it melts everything in. But my problem is that the sprayer broke on this one, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to figure out how to, can I open this? Yeah. So I'm going to have to put it in like a different bottle. But definitely love their setting sprays. Love this. Another setting spray is the Milani Make It Last Matte. This is the charcoal one. Yeah, the charcoal matte setting spray. This was really good too. The sprayer on here was weird. It's like a nice sprayer, but like it got a little bit clogged, so I have to like go like this and like spray it, you know what I mean? So it like falls on my face nicely. But yeah, definitely recommend the drugstore options. Pixi's a little bit like high-end drugstore, available at Target, but still kind of affordable, you know what I mean? I have a couple foundations I want to mention. So the first one is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage. I talked about this so many times. I have the shade 030. I need to get a lighter shade because this keeps oxidizing on me. So that is, just mentioned, it is a problem that this is oxidizing. But it lasts so long. It looks good on the skin all day if you can get past the oxidation. And I just love it so much. I use so much of it. I just shook it up so you can't really see, but it's like down here somewhere. Oh, love this so much. Will repurchase again and again. Another foundation I loved this year was the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. I used so much of this. It's almost out. I don't even know if you can like tell, but there's like scrapes along here of me like trying to like scrape product. So it's so good. Highly recommend checking this out. I have the shade LW2. I didn't try any other shades. I like this shade, so I'm just probably going to keep this shade. It's not, I will say that this on my oily skin does not last well throughout the day, but if I'm only wearing it for like a couple hours, it looks good the entire time. Another one is the Cover FX Power Play Foundation. I use this quite a bit. This I go back and forth with liking it and not liking it, but overall I like it. It just like, it depends on my skin that day. So if I'm very, very dry, I don't use this. I also don't set this because it is so matte. This is one of the most matte foundations I've discovered in my life. But yeah, if you have very oily skin, you've been looking for a matte foundation, this is it. I would suggest just not setting it or just setting like small areas. I tried the Bye Bye Moisturizer, or Bye Bye Foundation rather, this year. So good. I love mixing this with my CC cream. Yeah, so it's really all I have to say. This was definitely a year favorite for me. This is the Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation in the shade Nude. This is my like summer shade, kind of tan shade. I absolutely love this formula. I just cannot find a light shade that works for me. This is just like the only shade that works for me. I tried it before, and because of the shade, like I couldn't get right. I just never really liked it. But then this year I tried like a darker shade for my tan skin. Oh my god, it is so good. Do not sleep on this foundation. Another one I really, really liked was the Naked Skin, or the Stay Naked Weightless Foundation by Urban Decay. I have the shade 30NN. This is a little bit dark for me, and it is very neutral. I probably should have gotten like a cooler shade, but I really like this formula. I think it works really well on my skin type, and it lasts a long time throughout the day. I just have to mix it so that I get the perfect shade. And I mentioned my CC cream. I love mixing that with my Bye Bye foundation because I like using these. I have like two different shades, so I have fair and light, and I like to mix them to get my perfect shade. Concealers. So I have a couple concealers. The first one is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I love this. I need to repurchase. I'm out of both of the shades that I use. Well, this one's like almost out. It's like basically out. But the other shade that I use, I'm totally out of. I just put that in my empties video, so I will link that for you as well. The Born This Way by Too Faced Concealer. This is the shade Pearl. Oh my god, this is so good. I don't know why I haven't tried this sooner. It's so good. Highly recommend. And then the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. This is in the shade Nude Ivory. This is not the most full coverage one, but I love priming my eyes with it. I think that it looks really, really good on my skin. I don't think it ever looks cakey, but it does not cover the best. So if that's important to you, I wouldn't try it out. But if you like a light coverage, light concealer, then this is the way to go. Oh, I have one more setting spray I forgot about. This is the Tarte Double Duty Beauty setting spray. I got this on a whim because it was like near the Ulta counter and it was like 10 bucks or something, and I picked it up and it's really, really good. I really like it. It smells like cucumber. I use like to set all my makeup, but I also use it just to make everything kind of mesh together. And I think that's important with setting sprays, is like that ability, not just like making your makeup last longer, but making sure that all the powders and the liquids and they kind of all just like combine and look good on your skin. Lola is just, what are you doing? What are you doing? Go back in your bed. Go back in your bed. Good girl. Okay. So yeah, making sure that everything just looks good on your skin. Let's do, so my powder of the year was definitely the Velvetizer. I use this all the time. I repurchased this in 2019. It's so, so good. I do not use it as a mix and medium as it's intended. I use it as a setting powder. Definitely has flashback if you're going to use that. So, but yeah, it's definitely amazing. I also want to give a quick shout out to House Laboratories. This is the Lady Gaga brand that she came out with in 2019. And I love, these are the two standout products for me. I loved the Riot Lip Gloss in Venus. This is the like kind of rosy toned one, and if you know me, you know that that's like my favorite tone. Lola is just like, she is just gonna sleep in the basket where all the makeup is. Okay. And then this other one is the Glam Attack. It's the liquid shimmer powder, and it's in the shade Aphrodite. It's kind of similar where it's like a pink you know, liquid shadow. These were really, really good. These were the ones that impressed me the most. So next couple things, I want to talk about two eyeliners. So this first one is by Hank and Henry, and it's just a black felt. Is it felt tip? Yes, I think it's felt tip. I don't know. It could be brush up. I don't know. It's a black liner, liquid liner, and it was really, really good. I really liked that. And then the Architect by LA Splash. This is a felt tip as well. I don't know. I think it's a brush tip. I don't know. But yeah, so these two liners definitely impressed me this year. Pixi sent me a bunch of their Matte Last liquid lips, and I loved the shade Matte Beige. This one was probably the one that I used the most. It's kind of just like a peachy, pinky nude. But I really, really liked this shade, and I use this all the time. Okay, so I loved this so much. The Jouer, this is the Adore Blush Duo, and it's in the shade Adore Me and Hold Me. This was so good, and I just really, really liked the blush shade. I'm not, like, the highlighter is okay. It's just kind of subtle, but the blush shade is so good. It's just, like, it's like a perfect, like, everyday wearable shade. The packaging is so pretty as well. And I just used it so much in 2019. I also have been loving this Madison Miller and Ofra highlighter. This is this shade Sea Shimmer. Ofra highlighters are really, really amazing. But this one is just like so, so pretty, and I'm obsessed with it. Wander Beauty Mile High Club Mascara really stood out to me this year. I don't know what it was about it, but I loved it so much. The Big Ego Mascara by Tarte really, really also stood out to me. I use this quite a bit. Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. My other one's downstairs, but the other shade, like her original one, I really liked, and then this one I really, really like. This is the shade Sweet Mouth. It just is so pretty and just like, it's so pretty and comfortable. I just love a gloss that's comfortable and smells good. That's all I want. It's so pretty. I love that so much. Another lip product that I repurchased, I believe in 2019, is the Josie Maran. This is the lipstick in the shade Embrace It, Honey. This stuff is so good. It's just like a typical pinky, peachy nude, kind of like the matte beige, but just maybe a little bit lighter. But the formula is so good on these, and it's like a little bit plumping, so it like stings a little bit in a good way. I also discovered on the recommendation of Jessie Smiles on here, or I guess her like beauty Instagram or beauty YouTube channel is Jessie Styles, but you know who I'm talking about. She always talked about these JCat Beauty Prismetal shadows, and specifically the shade, I believe it was Chrome Galaxy. That's what this is, but this is so good. It's kind of like a jelly texture. I just really, really love like these kinds of like pinky shimmer shades. It's very similar to the House Beauty or the House Labs that I showed. But yeah, this was really good. I use this quite a bit. It's similar to the ColourPop formula, but not exactly. And I believe this is the last thing that I'm going to talk about. This is the Jo Malone Peony and Blush Suede perfume. This is so good. I had such a hard time finding a Jo Malone perfume that I really liked because all of them are like, they smell really woodsy to me, like kind of masculine. And I like really like fruity and like florals. So this one is the closest that I got to that, and it's just so good. It still has like something like it just has some like depth to it, like darkness, like I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say. Like it's not fruity or like florally, but it's close. So it just has like some depth to it. I really, really like it. My mom got me an early birthday present. It's right there. Or not birthday present, Christmas present. But she got me like the big size of it, which is like insane because it's so expensive. But yeah, so good. And that is the end of this very long video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your favorites were down below. And have a great day. Bye.